Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join me as we explore every piece of a puzzle for a quality life. Join our show, Quality Life, Your Choice. So today we will be discussing about antiviral immunity. This is very timely because people right now are panicking, lahat tayo aware, we might be infected, we're not sure kung tayo ba infected or not, specifically in people right now staying in their homes. So the concern right now is yung availability ng test kits, hindi naman siya commercially available to all people to get tested. So what we are gonna do right now is to discuss about antiviral immunity. So it's really nice to have a brief overview of what coronavirus is all about, or this COVID-19, no, na tinatawag natin. So we call this novel because this is a new respiratory disease. And we all know that the spread of this is through the droplets. So that means pag ako nagsasalita, this can be the droplets coming out, no? These are the nano microbes na lumalabas from the viruses na pwede nating i-emit kapag tayo nagsasalita, pag tayo bumabahing or pag tayo ay umuubo. But the World Health Organization have said it could also be possible na pwede itong maging airborne kapag nasa hospital tayo or nadun tayo sa mga close spaces. So it's also important to know the symptoms. Usually symptoms will come out, no, in 2 to 14 days. Kaya dun sinasabi yung mga quarantine na dapat hanggang 14 days nasa loob ka lang ng bahay. And what are we going to take note is yung presence ng fever, umuubo tayo, usually dry cough, and then we have shortness of breath. And that's one unique characteristic ng COVID-19. And of course, meron ding natitake note kasi na diarrhea in terms of this kind of virus, which is coronavirus, na identical dun sa SARS. Ito yung mga napapag-aralan. Now, I'd like to emphasize here yung lesson na pwede nating ma-learn from China. Kasi sila, may mga datos na sila, no? They have data to show us already. So if you can see there in the slide, makikita natin dito yung incidences. Now, when you say incidence, sino yung nagkakasakit who are prone to contact the infection? So if you see the slide here, makikita natin dito, most of those who are affected are aging 50 to 59. Yung iba din na 60 years old to 69 are affected, pero actually may mga bata din apektado. But what I want to emphasize here is yung death rate. Sino yung namamatay? What are the populations at risk of having increased death rate, no? So dito natin makikita yung mga elderlies natin. So these are people aging 70 to 79. Sila yung matataas ang death rate, and all the more kapag yung edad ay more than 80 years old na. Now, I'd like to show here another slide. Ito yung sinasabi natin na yung risk natin for coronavirus infection, ganun na din sa mortality rate. Sino yung mga talagang at risk of dying or at risk of getting into a critical situation? Ito yung may mga pre-existing conditions na. Now, when we say pre-existing conditions, these are person with comorbidities. Sila po dito yung may mga cardiovascular disease, no? Kung nakikita natin top of the line of all the data that we're seeing, yung mga may heart disease, sila yung at risk talaga to develop up to the critical situation in this type of infection. Yung mga may diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, no? Yung mga may abnormal high blood pressure, cancer. Kukunti lang doon sa data na nakikita natin ngayon. In fact, this is again, no, coming from the lesson that we could learn from China. In fact, about 0.9% only of the deaths ang walang coexisting na comorbidities. Okay? And then, looking at the situations, whenever you get the infection, hindi naman talagang malala dapat yung situation ng pasyente. Now, if you look at it, 80.9% doon sa mga nagkaroon ng viral infection are actually at the mild level only, no? And then 13.8% would go to severe symptoms and seriousness of the disease, and only 4.7 will get critical situations. Now, you might ask me, why am I not using data from the Philippines? Kasi nga dito sa Philippines, medyo may bias tayo in terms of documenting the incidence. Kasi ngayon nga hindi available yung mga test kits natin. Hindi lahat talaga natitest. Unlike sa ibang bansa, matataas na yung mga incidence na nakikita natin, mababa yung death rate. Sa atin, medyo mataas yung death rate, mababa yung incidence kasi hindi nga lahat natitest. So, kaya ang ginagamit nating data ngayon is yung present na. Okay? Now, let me go through doon sa proseso kung paano na-infect yung pasyente at paano natin mapiprevent yung sarili natin to get infected. Now, please take note that the infection since this is a droplet, it can go through the nose, pwedeng sa bibig natin, no? Pwede ding sa mata. Now, usually this goes through the nose, okay? So, ang kagandahan, pag dito kasi sa ilong natin, we have what we call the nasociliary structures, which drives out yung mga foreign substances supposed to be. Doon din sa ating lungs, sa may bronchial area, may tinatawag din tayong hair-like projections. Tinatawag natin silang respiratory cilia. Now, ang problema, ito yung hinihit ng mga virus. Okay? So, they destroy the cilia. So, pag na-destroy sila, it will slough off and then it will occupy the space of your lungs, kasama yung mga debris and then the fluid, kaya tayo inuubo. So, yun yung nagiging pneumonia. Okay? Now, I want to let you see here yung tinatawag nating immune response. Lahat tayo may immune response, kaya kailangan yung matatag na immune system. Now, we have two types of response that I want to discuss here. First is yung ating innate immune response, and then yung ating adaptive immune response. Yung innate immune response is non-specific, however, that is the most aggressive first line of defense. So, ibig sabihin, pag pumasok ganyan yung virus, madidetect agad yun ng ating innate cells, which is isa sa paborito ko is the natural killer cells kasi kasama na dito yung mga macrophages. Pero in terms of viruses, the natural killer cells are the number one defense. Okay? Kaya nga pinag-aaralan sa iba't ibang bansa ngayon, in the United States, in China, in Korea, tinitignan nila kung paano i-boost yung action ng natural killer cells. In fact, even in immunotherapy, that's what they use right now, yung natural killer cells. Kasi it acts not only for viruses, but for cancer cells as well. So ngayon, balik tayo dun sa natural killer cells. Yung natural killer cell, pag nakita niya yung virus, it does a lot of things. It can be cytotoxicity or talagang pinapatay niya ng diretso. Now, I want to show you here in this video kung ano yung nangyayari doon sa natural killer cell. So kung makikita nyo dito, ito yung coronavirus. The coronavirus has lots of particles. It has an RNA, that's why it can replicate inside the cell, right? So meron siyang receptor, didikit siya dun sa ACE receptor ng ating lungs, specifically sa alveoli. And then i-infect niya yung cell. When the cell is infected, there you go. Yung ating natural killer cell ang responsible to take care of that. So kung makikita nyo dun sa figure, yung maliit na cell dyan na nakadikit sa malaking infected cell, that's your natural killer cell. Pinipigilan niya ngayon na mag-outburst yung cell para i-spread niya yung virus. Ganon ka-importante ang natural killer cell. Why? Because it takes time for adaptive immunity na magkaroon tayo ng antibodies para magkaroon tayo ng immunity doon sa virus. It will take several days and sometimes several weeks bago magkaroon ng immunity. So that's how important it is to have a very good functioning innate immunity or yung ating natural killer cells. Okay? Now, this time we will be discussing factors that will disrupt the immune function. Paano bababa ang immune system mo. So pag alam mo na yung factors na yun ang iiwasan natin. Okay? Now, there are things that we cannot get rid of. Number one is aging. So pag tumatanda kasi tayo, iba na yung situation ng ating immune system, right? So yung number ng immune cells natin, integrity ng immune cells natin, sobrang iba siya kesa sa early adulthood. Okay, so that is primarily aging. Now, number two included here is malnutrition. Yung kulang sa pagkain, kulang sa nutrition. I should say, ang malnutrition kasi pwedeng overeating, pwedeng undereating. So, depende dun sa nutrients na nakakain nila. Pwede naman kasing kain ng kain, no? Overweight na nga, obese na nga, pero malnourished pa rin kasi yung mga dapat na nutrients na kailangan niya, yung essential nutrients, the minerals are not there. It's more of the calorie na natitake nila. And then another factor that disrupts immune function is of course chronic disease. So dito na pumapasok yung mga comorbidities, yung patients natin na may mga diabetes, may mga heart disease, they have cancer, they are the ones who are really prone to contact viral infection just because yung immune system nila mababa. Kaya nga tawag natin sa kanila, immunocompromised patients. Alright? And then lastly, ito yung pag-uusapan natin, people right now have so many undesirable lifestyle. Okay? So this undesirable lifestyle eventually ends up to us having a very low immune response. No? And this includes yung pagkain natin, diet and nutrition, being sedentary, no? And then meron tayong physical and mental stress, and then hindi natutulog ng maayos, sleep. Okay, this is sleep hygiene that we call. And then consumption of alcohol and cigarette, smoking. So, in the next slide that I'm going to show you, so this is what we call aging and the immune system. Now, there are lots of studies right now showing us that when a person is aging, there is what we call loss of adaptive immunity already. No? So, ito yung tinatawag natin na pag tumatanda ng pasyente, we have this what we call inflammaging. No? So pag sinabi mong inflammaging, yung adaptive immunity mababa, yung innate immunity bias naman. Kaya kapag matanda na, laging may inflammation, laging masakit ng kasukasuan, no? They are really prone to inflammation. Okay, so there is also a loss of immunoinhibitory capacity. Ibig sabihin, kaya nga laging may inflammation, kasi yung pag nag-inflame kasi, kailangan ini-inhibit mo rin yun. Hindi laging dapat inflammation. Okay? So, yun ang nawawala when we age. Okay? Yun din yung nangyayari sa may mga autoimmune diseases. So, I'd like to put a mention here on the telomeres. No? Yung telomeres kasi natin, these are the tip of our chromosomes. In fact, na nag-shorten as we age. So, there are lots of factors that causes the shortening of our telomeres. It's not only aging. Chronic disease, our lifestyle, our daily choices, they actually determines the lengthening or the shortening of our telomeres. So, ito yung sinasabi natin na the shorter the telomeres, the shorter the lifespan. The longer the telomeres, the longer the lifespan. So, ang gagawin natin, what do we do to lengthen those telomeres? Because they dictate the integrity of the cells, including our white blood cells. Okay? So, I'd like to put here, kung makikita nyo dun sa slide, kasi pag sinasabing aging, alam natin, edad lang, ano? But right now, aging doesn't only counts with the number of your age by the year na pinanganak ka. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is, right now, the chronological age is not anymore compatible with the biological age. So yung sinasabi natin chronological age, eto yung edad mo nung pinanganak ka. That's what being placed in your birth certificate or in your passport. But right now, what's the condition of your cells biologically? Kasi we have many patients at age 28, may maintenance medication na yan sa diabetes, may maintenance medication na sa hypertension. Edad 38 years old lang, na-stroke na. So, it's not expected at their age. Now, looking at their cells biologically, unfortunately, hindi talaga compatible yung kanilang chronological age sa kanilang biological age. So, what do you expect? Now, in these patients, even at this age, say 34, yung iba 45, let's say 50 years old lang, but the age of their cells is too far from the chronological age. Kaya kung titignan mo, average age of death in the Philippines right now is 62 years old. Although yung life expectancy natin medyo tumataas siya, pero kung titignan mo yung mga namamatay, nando dun sa edad na yon, 62. You know, sa ibang lugar, pag sinabi natin, like we have the blue zone, right? Yung mga blue zone, dun yung mga area na yung mga tao, centenarians. Nag-uumpisa pa lang yung buhay. I mean, nasa mid pa lang sila nung buhay nila, tayo na mamatay na. No? Because of this factors that we have in every single decisions that we make every single day. Now, looking at the data in the Philippines right now, this is the statistics I want to show you. Ito yung sinasabi ko na life expectancy. For female, it's about 68.8 years old. No, for male, it's about 68.8 years old. For female, it's 74.3. Yun yung average life expectancy ng Pilipino. But again, looking at the population by age group, kung titignan mo, yung mga elderlies natin, Filipinos aging 55 to 64 is only 6% of the total population. And then Filipinos aging 65 years old and over is only 4% of the total population. So that means hindi tumatanda na ang Pilipino. We're dying young because of the lifestyle diseases, because of the lifestyle choices. Now, why am I going ahead to lifestyle factors this time? Noon, akala ko yung lifestyle modification, living a healthy lifestyle, is only for non-communicable diseases. Diba? So, para hindi ka magka-high blood, para hindi ka magka-diabetes, magka-cancer, etc. But right now, we are starting to appreciate more than ever that even in communicable diseases, kailangan yung healthy lifestyle. Kasi kung titignan mo dun sa datos na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, those person who died because of the virus were people who are having pre-existing conditions. Sila yung mga may comorbidities. Alright? So, kung titignan natin, there are a lot of things that we can do to boost or increase our immune system. So, let's go through, may tinatawag kasi tayong training program for immune health, no? So, how do you train your body to increase the immune health? So, very simple. Kung titignan natin, very simple. No medication or supplement is capable of optimizing the immune system. Regardless of what kind of medication you will buy, regardless of what kind of supplement you will take, it can never replace a healthy lifestyle. Okay? So there are techniques that are capable of boosting the immune system. First and foremost is diet and nutrition. Number 2 is physical activity. Number 3 is mental health. And then lastly, sleep. Okay? So, when we go through these things regarding diet, may mga questionnaires tayong pwedeng itanong. Okay? So, initially, what is your typical diet? Anong kinakain natin? Are you eating more processed than fresh foods? Sa panahon kasi ngayon, we are in a crisis, right? So, ang pinakamabilis kasing mamobilize ngayon, delata, processed food, yun yung pinamimigay ngayon. But I highly commend yung mga local government units natin kasi nakikita ko may mga nagdi-distribute ng mga plastic na vegetables no? So, if local governments can contact our farmers kasi wala silang mapagbentahan ng mga produce nila ngayon, and since these are perishable, nawawala yung income nila, diba? So, may mga paraan naman para maabot natin sila, para yun din ang mapamigay natin dun sa mga nangangailangan. But I'm not saying na yung delata hindi pwedeng kainin, no? Because that's the available food that you have right now. What you can do, in fact, is to maximize at magdagdag kung ano man yung nutrients na essential na kailangan natin kainin every single day. So, say for example, ang available lang sa panahon ngayon na meron kayo dyan kasi ang pinamigay lang ay sardinas, di ba? So, you can add any vegetables you have available in the house o doon sa backyard ninyo, idagdag doon sa sardinas para madagdagan yung nutrients na kinakain natin, no? In this time of crisis. Now, next question here is, are you eating more red meat than variety of vegetables? Now, we may be talking about the microbiomes here kasi pag tayo kumakain lagi ng meat, specifically processed meat, nagkakaroon ng disruption doon sa microbiome. Ibig sabihin ng microbiome, these are the bacteria that composes our intestines. So, meron tayong dysbiosis na tinatawag pag kumain tayo ng processed food, in particular, processed meat. So, nagkakaroon ng inflammation doon pa lang sa ating intestine. Now, I'd like to emphasize here, did you know na about 70% of our immune cells are concentrated in the digestive system? Dahil ito yung may closest communication sa ating internal environment from the external environment. So, what's happening here is lahat na ipapasok natin sa ating bibig, it goes through a lot of process, nando doon nag-aabang yung ating immune cells para hindi makapasok yung unwanted particles sa ating katawan. So, just imagine, this is a scenario right now na ang daming virus around you. No, nandyan yung coronavirus, and here you are, kain ka pa ng kain ng hindi maganda. Now, your immune cells are concentrating on your digestive system. Instead of them fighting along doon sa mga viruses na pumapasok sa ilong, na pumapasok sa airways natin. Okay? So, this is not the right time to induce another type of inflammation sa katawan mo. Kasi during viral infection, may inflammation na nangyayari sa katawan natin. So as much as possible, we have to go through whole food, plant-based na pagkain, food as grown, para mabawasan yung possible load para sa immune cells natin through the digestive system. Okay? So another thing here, are you missing something important in your diet? Yun na nga, baka sardinas sa umaga, sardinas sa tanghali, sardinas sa gabi. Or pwede naman kahit gulay, talong sa umaga, talong sa tanghali, talong din sa gabi. It has to be a variety of vegetables. So yun yung sinasabi natin is as much as possible, we have to eat a rainbow color of vegetables every single day. And then, the next thing here, do you routinely miss your breakfast? Or do you make poor snack and dessert choices routinely? In this time of days, sugar, refined sugar supposed to be dapat hindi muna yun yung priority kinakain natin. Because sugar is known na nagpapababa ng function ng ating innate immunity in particular. Yun yung natural killer cell na sinasabi ko kanina. And the next, do you eat late at night? Kasi usually if you skip breakfast, you only take whatever you get sa lunch. And then you prepare for the best dinner, di ba? So yung pinakamaraming pagkain sa gabi. Alright? So why am I talking about this? Because I'm talking about chances of gaining weight in this time of crisis. Yes, there is possibility to gain weight kasi hindi ka lumalabas, wala kang trabaho, no? And then kain tayo ng kain sa bahay. Initially kasi marami pang supply, no? I'm talking about people who had the chance to prepare for this lockdown kasi maraming pagkain sa bahay and that's what you will notice. So if you will see yung weight natin pwedeng mag-increase. Now, why am I talking about weight here? Kasi by being overweight and by being obese, we are decreasing immune function already. And why? Because we are putting ourselves into chronic low-grade inflammation state already. Okay? So, going ahead through the foods, ano yung nakakatulong sa atin na pagkain? No? We already talk about things na sana maiwasan natin, specifically the meat products, yung ultra-processed na food, which is driver for metabolic disease na nagpapababa din ang immune system natin. So, because it's laden with sugar, with salt, with fats, and all the additives, diba? So yun yung nakakapagpababa ng immune system. Now, what we need right now are foods that are capable of improving our immune function. So basically, we need the vitamins, A, C, D, E. We need the minerals like your selenium, we need your zinc, we need the probiotics. Okay, because these are good bacteria that can balance the homeostasis in our microbiome sa ating intestine. And we need the amino acids also, coming from the proteins, kasi kailangan yun ng immune system natin. Now, you might ask me, saan natin kukunin yung mga vitamins and minerals na yun? Napakarami. Okay? So when we say vitamin A-rich food, you will see here in the slide, there's a lot of choices. Makikita yan dito sa Pilipinas. Vitamin C, no need to mention. O ngayon, nasa bahay lang tayo, baka may bayabas tayo dyan sa labas. That has the highest vitamin C you can ever get from any other sources. Diba? Now, vitamin E is also present. Meron sa mga fruits, meron din sa vegetables. Selenium is available also, you can see here in the slide. We also have zinc-rich food. Yung pinapakita ko ngayon is more on plant-based sources because I'm trying to prove you that every time you eat whole food plant-based in a variety of form, kumpleto yung kailangan ng katawan mo every day. Okay? Now, even glutamine is present in the food, plant-based sources, arginine is also present in the food. Ito kasing mga amino acids na ito, kailangan ito ng ating mga immune cells. Now, looking at it, if you see, we have the power plate. Okay? So, every time a patient would eat, I always recommend them to make a landscape in their plate. Ibig sabihin, you already place whatever you want to eat in your plate. Okay? Para alam mo kung yung kinakain mo is sobra ba, kulang ba, alin ba dun yung mas marami sa kinakain mo? Now, when we look at the plate right now, 1/4 of that should be fruits, 1/4 of that should be grains, whole grains if necessary. Yung 1/4, yun yung protein natin, coming mostly from the legumes, seeds, no? And then, 1/4 of that would be vegetables. That's the ideal plate. Sa panahon ngayon, ito yung kailangan natin because we needed to boost our immune system. Okay? Now, so much with the nutrition. in our next session, we will be talking about physical activity. Kasi ang lifestyle po, hindi lang sa pagkain nag-i-end. Kahit gaano ka-healthy ang pagkain mo, pag ikaw ay sedentary, how can you even deliver the antioxidants to those parts of your body where it is needed kung hindi maganda yung blood circulation mo? So next up, we will be talking about physical activity. Okay, so we are discussing antiviral immunity here, and then we've already discussed nutrition part, no? Kung anong pwedeng magagawa natin, things that we can eat, things that we can prepare to enhance immune response in terms of food preparation and food intake. So this time, ang pag-uusapan naman natin ay physical activity. Because when you say lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, it doesn't only end up with the food you eat, okay? So it's multifactorial. So the next topics that we'll be discussing includes physical activity, sleep hygiene, and of course, how do you handle stressful situations like now, okay? So with physical activity, we know very well na kapag tayo nag-exercise, this increases the capacity of our body to protect and enhance our immune system or our immune response. Basically, kasi kapag nag-exercise ka, blood circulation is increasing, right? So your heartbeat is increasing. Pag nag-increase yung heartbeat, mabilis din yung blood circulation. So remember, your white blood cells are in the blood. So the more mabilis yung circulation, the more effective you can deliver the white blood cells kung saan sila kailangan. So like for example, patients who are sedentary, so blood circulation, medyo may mga stasis, may stagnant din kasi nakaupo ka lang for the longest time. So that's why we really needed people to keep moving and to be mobile. Ang importante dito is nagko-contract yung ating mga muscles because it also assists blood circulation. However, kailangan natin yung exercise, but excessive exercise may be deleterious to our immune system as well. So, hindi natin kailangan yung physical stress in this situation. So, the gym is not for us this time. So, hindi yung maraming lifting, maraming, yung mga routine na ginagawa natin for muscle building, ganyan, no? So, in this time, ang kailangan natin is to preserve our immune response, and the excessive exercise, this is also called physical stress, diba? So, in situations where we are subjecting ourselves into physical stress, yung immune system natin is bumababa din siya. So what's recommended? You don't need to go to the plaza, hindi mo kailangang pumunta sa gym para mag-exercise. We only need to move 30 minutes every day, at least 5 days in a week. Okay? So, studies would show na kahit yung low level of physical activity can actually help our immune system already. But ideally, a moderate physical activity will help. So, swerte ngayon yung mga tao na meron silang mga gadgets, they have equipments to use, no? Yung mga may treadmill maybe, yung may mga stationary bike siguro, pwede nilang gamitin yon. However, that does not limit us to do physical activity even na nasa quarantine tayo ngayon. Kahit hindi tayo nakakalabas. At your home, you can do stationary aerobic exercises. At your home, you can do seated exercises. So yung exercises should be fitted, depende dun sa age group din, no? Halimbawa, yung mga kabataan kasi sometimes even if you don't tell them to exercise, talagang galaw sila ng galaw. But for adults right now, nasa Netflix, nasa YouTube, nasa TV. So most of the time, they are sitting. So what do we need to do right now is to go to YouTube. Yes, may makikita tayo doon mga physical activity na pwede nating gawin. There are about 20 minutes na walk na pwede nating sundin. May 30 minutes na walk na pwedeng sundin. Doon naman sa mga may edad, sa mga hindi kaya yung walking, hindi kaya yung stationary jogging, ang pwede natin gawin ay mga seated exercises. Maraming paraan, no? Okay, so in terms of physical activity, we only need about 30 minutes of moderate physical activity ideally. Pero how do you say you are doing it moderately? Diba? So, paano mo masasabi na yung ginagawa mo ay tama na, yung intensity? So, we have what we call the talk test. No? Yung talk test is very simple. Halimbawa, if you're doing your exercise and you can still sing kapag nakakakanta ka pa while you're doing your physical activity, that is low intensity physical activity. Okay? Pero kapag halimbawa, you can still talk while you're doing your exercise, but you cannot sing anymore, so that means you are at the moderate intensity. So ito is iba-iba sa bawat tao. Okay? So it's very specific to a certain person. Kasi pwede na yung aking moderate physical activity vigorous na pala sa ibang tao. Okay? So depende yun sa capacity ng katawan natin. So ideally, what we need is 30 minutes of physical activity at least 5 days in a week. Now here, I want to emphasize as well, kasi pwedeng nag-exercise ka ng 30 minutes in the morning and that's moderate physical activity and then you sit the entire day. That doesn't make sense at all. Alright? So what we need to do is to keep ourselves moving. So approximately, do not sit more than about an hour. So pag halimbawa, 45 minutes ka na nakaupo, tayo ka, galaw-galaw ka. This is what we say right now. There are researches coming out, napakarami na. Dati nag-umpisang naglabas lang ng research is Harvard. Ngayon, meron nang lumabas na research Australia, research in Europe, and anywhere else in the world. And they are saying that sitting is a new smoking. Alright? And now they call it the sitting disease. Alright? Because it also gives us an independent risk factor in developing chronic diseases. Okay? So again, what we need to do is about 30 minutes aerobic physical activity, at least moderate intensity. So sedentary and overtrained individuals are more susceptible to infection. So katamtaman lang. Hindi kulang, hindi rin siya sobra in terms of physical activity. Now, there are many things that you can do as well. No, hindi lang naman talaga yung nag-exercise ka. If you have a place in your house na pwede kang mag-gardening, you can lift something. No, those are activities na pwede rin natin gawin. Exposure to sunlight is really necessary. In fact, ngayon nga kahit dito sa Pilipinas, we don't need vitamin D kung tutuusin. Kaya lang if we're staying 24 hours indoor, or I don't know, hindi naman siguro 24 hours indoor, but halos hindi natin nakikita yung araw. Makita mo man yung araw, naglalagay ng sunblock para yung UV light hindi makapenetrate doon sa skin. So what's the point, diba? And then magte-take tayo ng vitamin D as supplemental form. So we have to grab the chance. Ngayon, this is towards summer. The best thing to have exposure is in the morning kasi hindi masyadong mainit. It won't hurt your skin. So approximately 15 minutes to 20 minutes of sunlight exposure in the morning is really necessary to maintain a very good immune response. So doon mo na rin isabay yung physical activity natin or gardening maybe. Okay? So that's for physical activity. Now, like I said, what you can do is walking, or what you can do is also seated exercises. Give yourself a variety of activity. Kasi hanggang April 14 tayong I don't know if you call it a lockdown, but this is an enhanced quarantine, no? So, kailangan may variety yung gagawin natin. Specifically dun sa ating mga kabataan. Now, the kids right now, if you try to see them, they're watching gadgets, kasi nabubore sila. Kaya kailangan magkaroon ng strategy on how do you go on things and the routine that you have in the home para hindi tayo magiging sedentary. Okay? So the next thing that we will discuss here is stress management and mental stress. You will be hearing more of it with different lecturer. But I'd just like to emphasize the role of stress and mental health in maintaining immune response. Okay? May tinatawag kasi tayo neuroendocrine immunology. So that means our endocrine system, our central nervous system, and our immune system, they talk with each other. Okay? So their secretions are familiar. So much so na kapag ako nagagalit, when I am in stress, you will realize mababa din ang immune system ko. Okay? So you will see that people who are always stressed out, they also have the lowest immune system. And please take note that negative emotions from stress can augment inflammatory pathways. So, sa panahon ngayon, sino bang hindi may stress, no? But, we always have the coping capacity. May mga capability tayo to cope on so many things. Now, if you look at it, we have to appreciate what's happening right now. Kasi marami tayong bagay na hindi natin napapansin. In fact, just because everything has stopped today, and you're in your house, and you're by yourself and you're doing so many things, instead of thinking of things negatively that will lessen the capacity of your immune system, wala ka rin namang choice kasi nasa bahay ka na lang din naman. Why don't you convert it to positive thinking this time? Now, it's easier said than done, but you can do it, right? So please take note lang, isipin lang, pag ikaw stressed, bumababa ang immune system. Now, pag stress kasi isang tao, hindi rin nakakatulog ng maayos, right? It's like that your brain is not stopping. Ayaw mag-turn off nung brain, kaya hindi nakakatulog. Kahit nakahiga na ng ilang oras, hindi pa rin nakakatulog. Just because of those things that you keep thinking, right? So stress, in fact, can result to insomnia, which is the next thing that we will be talking about, sleep hygiene. Now, why do we call it a sleep hygiene? No? Dati kasi ang tulog parang hindi naman problema. Pero ngayon, ang pagtulog, kailangan pinapractice, sabi nila. No? Now, we have this what we call na, we advise patients to have regularity. Yun ang sinasabi natin na regularity is the key. No? So kung halimbawa, you have to train yourself when you sleep at 9 p.m., you have to sleep every 9 p.m. for the next 2 weeks. Okay? Because you're building up again dun sa circadian rhythm natin, may body clock kasi tayo eh. Kaya kapag hindi ka nakatulog ng maayos 2 nights prior, no, it's not really easy to go back to the rhythm again. No? Kaya necessary yung tinatawag natin na regularity. Okay, so there is this study that I want to point out with you here because in that study it says that even modest loss of sleep reduces natural immune responses. And this is really necessary. Ito yung sinasabi natin na early night sleep. Kung kulang ka sa early night sleep, bumababa ang function ng natural killer cell to as much as 30% already. So ano yung early night sleep? So this is supposed to be the time na natutulog ka na. Kasi marami namang natutulog late night sleepers. Meron natutulog umaga na. Okay? So but this study was conducted documenting on early night sleep. So kung kulang ka sa early night sleep, this study says 30% of your natural killer cells will not work properly the following day. Okay? That's how simple it is. So if you want to boost your immune system, we need to sleep regularly. Ganun lang siya ka-importante. Okay, so again, consistency is the key. And then all we have to do is to practice buffering before bedtime. Kasi ngayon ang mga tao busy every single day. Alright? Parang hindi na kulang ang 24 hours. Parang minsan sinasabi natin na if we can borrow another hours from those people not doing anything para idagdag dun sa 24 hours natin, right? So, since people are so busy from daytime hanggang sa gabi, so lahat active. So, yung brain natin, the spike is always alpha wave, no? Imbes magbe-beta wave doon siya kasi magpapahinga na siya. Ayaw niyang tumigil, kaya nag-iisip ka na nag-iisip. Now, when we say buffering before bedtime, slowing down. Okay? So, bawasan na yung mga gagawin sa gabi. Now, this is kind of hard para sa mga babae kasi yung mga babae maraming concern, maraming iniisip, lalo sa gabi. Pag natutulog, tatayo pa uli kasi may naiisip sila. Alright? So, but this has to be a practice. No? Kaya tinatawag siyang training for immune health. Alright? So, you have to train yourself to sleep properly, practice buffering before bedtime. And then we have another tip here, which is pull the plug. Alright? So when you say pull the plug, ito yung mga devices na ginagamit natin. Ito yung mga laptops, ito yung mga cellphones, ito yung connection natin sa Facebook, it could be Twitter, it could be whatever. Okay? So, we just don't realize na ito kasi yung mata kasi natin, we have this, we call receptors na na-activate pag ito na i-expose sa blue light spectrum. So pag sinabi natin blue light, your retina, the retina of your eye, would identify blue light as daylight. No? So, ibig sabihin, pag in-expose mo yung mata mo doon sa screen, yung melatonin, which is your hormone that is being released by your brain, para matulog ka na, kasi yun ang nagpapatulog sa atin to induce sleep, bababa na naman yung secretions niya kasi akala niya daylight na naman. Because you're exposing your eyes dun nga sa blue light spectrum. Now, eto naman, there are other people na hindi rin makatulog sa gabi just because they didn't have sunlight exposure in the morning. So, like for example, nasa indoor lang talaga sila. Yung window hindi binuksan, hindi na-expose yung mata sa light, no? Kaya, ganun din ang nangyayari. So, yung circadian rhythm mo, parang actually medyo nagkakaroon ng adjustment, kaya gabi na hindi ka pa inaantok. So, that's why it's really necessary to expose yourself in the morning to sunlight. And sa gabi, pull the plug. Okay? And then, next is cut down caffeine and alcohol. Alright? So, maraming tao sabi, iinom ng alcohol para makatulog sa gabi. No? But in fact, if we wanted to have sustainable sleep hygiene, effective quality sleep, we have to get rid of caffeine and we have to get rid of alcohol. And then, like I said earlier, sunlight exposure is necessary. Okay? And then lastly, kung kaya natin, we have to create a sleep environment. Alright? Now, when you say sleep environment, make your bedroom one of the best place in the house. Now, if you try to look at it, that's the only time that your body can recuperate when you sleep. Your immune cells, all the cells in the body are starting to repair when we are asleep. So make sure you create a very good sleep environment. When I say sleep environment, yung kwarto kasi minsan nandun din yung opisina. Yung kwarto, minsan nandun lahat ng libro, nandun yung laptop. And all those things will induce you to wake up instead of sleeping. Okay? So those are the things: consistency, buffering before bedtime, pull the plug, cut down on your caffeine and alcohol, sunlight exposure, and then create a sleep environment. Okay? Now, there are so many things that may happen. Now, isipin natin, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, those are the things na kinakain natin to boost our immune system, physical activity to boost our immune system, resilience in terms of dealing with stress na hinaharap natin ngayon, and of course, the sleep health as well. Now, what will you do if you think you have the symptom of COVID already? Or, what will you do if you are not sure na infected ka? Or what can you do to protect yourself somehow? Kasi lumalabas at lumalabas pa rin tayo. Now, there are things that we can do aside from those things that we have discussed already. So, earlier, in the first part of our discussion, I discussed na yung virus kasi pumapasok either through the mouth, through the nose, or pwedeng sa scratching natin dun sa mata natin. Okay? But mostly, it's in the nose because it's in the respiratory system. Pwede rin naman sa bibig, lalo pag hindi tayo nagmamask. Okay? So what we can do, in fact, to help ourselves clear our airways, very simple, we can do steam inhalation. So there are very simple hydrotherapy using water na pwede nating magamit in the house. Kahit sino, pwedeng gawin ito. Now, kids can do this, adults can do this, specifically yung mga lumalabas, pumupunta sa market, okay? So remember, we have nasociliary structures in our nose just to help this, get rid of those particles na hindi kailangan doon sa ating respiratory system. This is what we can do. Now, there are researches na lumalabas that actually supports steam inhalation, no? Specifically in China, in India, and many other countries. Now, steam inhalation is simply introducing water, introducing moist air into the lungs, via the nose and throat for therapeutic benefit. So basically, this will just clear your blocked nose. Kasi ngayon, pwedeng may colds, no? So maraming nagpapanik kasi may sipon, may ubo, akala COVID na. So what you can do, yun ang sinasabi natin, pag hindi naman severe yung case, you just stay at home kasi baka makakonta ka pa ng virus pag nasa ospital ka kaagad. So what you can do at home is do steam inhalation. Because when you have like blocked sinuses, no, pwedeng maklear yung ating nose, yung clog natin na nose, by doing steam inhalation. And they also open congested sinuses. Now, This will allow breathing easily, and then they also help you excrete your mucus, no? Para mailabas natin yung ating phlegm. Now, steam inhalation will improve nasal mucociliary clearance. Yung sinasabi natin, it can help you clear out yung mga particles na dapat wala doon sa respiratory system natin. Okay? So, it's so simple. You just have to prepare hot water. No? So nakikita nyo doon sa screen, this can be done by elderly, this can be done by adults, and this can be done by children as well. So mainit lang na tubig yan, you have the vapor going up, so there you go steam inhalation. So you can use towel or blanket maybe para ma-contain mo yung vapor and that you can inhale them effectively. So you only do this for 3 minutes, you can do this twice a day, specifically kung may symptom ka, or once a day kung kakagaling mo sa labas. No? Halimbawa, you're doubtful na may na-encounter ka na umuubo, you wanna clear your, help your nasociliary clearance. Okay, so you can just do steam inhalation. You may also opt to add some mint, no? Kung meron kang mga mint leaves na available as desired para meron siyang mas magandang aroma to clear to help you breathe properly and clear your airways. Okay, so that's steam inhalation. Now, another thing that we can do that everyone should be doing right now in this crisis of virus is gargling, no? Magmumog. Okay? So, gargling in the morning, pwedeng mag-gargle sa gabi bago matulog. So, it's really necessary to clear our, itong bibig natin. You know, bacteria are in the mouth, and then when you sleep, bumababa yung mga yan. So, it's really necessary to do gargling at night at pagising din natin sa umaga, or if you think you have exposure outside. So, basically, this will prevent upper respiratory tract infection, and this is being utilized in so many setups already, even in the clinics, pwede rin sa hospital. Now, this will attenuate bronchial symptom, and this is cost-free modality. Walang gastos. Now, you might be asking, kailangan ba malagamgam na tubig? Kailangan ba tap water lang? Now, according to the researches, yung mga research na lumalabas ngayon, plain water lang nga yung ginagamit nila. If you're comfortable with warm water, kasi sometimes it suits your throat, especially kung may irritation, then you can do that. Warm or room temperature water, walang problema. You may also add mint. Again, yung leaves, that's how important mint is right now. Tumutubo naman siya, mabilis lang naman siyang itanim, pwede mong lagyan. Salt may be added as well, but if your throat is already irritated, your salt can add up to the irritation. So, mas maganda plain water na lang kung irritated na yung throat natin. Kasi maraming lumalabas sa Facebook ngayon, maglagay ng salt, maglagay ng suka, no, o vinegar. Now, if your throat is already irritated, that can add up as well. So, this is what we call as desired lang kung pwede mo, kung gusto mong idagdag siya. So, again, that is gargling. So, basically, 2 things you can do, steam inhalation, and then gargling. Basic things na pwede mong gawin just to get rid of infection, no? Nasa bahay ka man or nasa loob ka man. Okay, so apart from those things that we have discussed already. So let me summarize. We discussed about aging, no? Sinabi ko nga kanina, aging is not only on the age. Pwedeng matanda ka pero bata pa yung katawan mo. Pwede ring bata ka pero matanda na yung katawan mo. Now you can see in the news right now, yung 60 years old na mamatay, yung 70 years old nakaka-recover. No? In Italy, you will see a 95 years old just recovered from COVID, pero yung mga 40 years old na mamatay. Now, there are many factors that we have to consider. Maybe it's the virulence of the virus, the amount of the virus na nagkaroon ka ng contact, and it also depends on the immunity that we have, and then the comorbidities na meron tayo. Okay? So we discussed about malnutrition. Like I said earlier, yung malnutrition hindi lang dun sa kakulangan ng kinakain, pero sobra din doon sa mga elements na hindi naman natin kinakailangan. It could be that we are eating too much of a calorie and less of the nutrient, and that is also called malnutrition. And then we also discuss about chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart disease na nakakapagpababa ng ating immune system. So for our viewers right now na may diabetes, this is the right time for you to control your blood sugar more than ever. Okay? Kasi immunocompromised na tayo. Kapag hindi pa controlled yung sugar natin, mas nadadagdagan pa yung negative impact niya sa ating immune cells. And of course, immune response natin. And then, of course, we discuss about the undesirable lifestyle, yung ating diet and nutrition, ano yung pwede natin kainin. I emphasize whole food, plant-based diet, less of the processed food. If you cannot get rid of the processed food, kasi merong mga oxidative stress na napuproduce yung mga yan, what you can do is to add up antioxidants, which you can get from fruits, vegetables, and variety of multicolored vegetables na pwede mong kainin. Because yun ang mga rich in flavonoids and it's rich in antioxidants that will neutralize the oxidative stress na napuproduce dun sa mga processed food na kinakain natin. I also discuss about sedentary lifestyle. More than ever, this is the time that we need to move. Okay? Kailangan active tayo. We can do physical activity kahit nasan ka man, whether you're in the house or may loan ka man na pwede kang mag-ikot-ikot doon. Kung nasa condominium, yung iba kasi nasa condo, they really don't have enough space. There are a lot of ways you can do. Okay? Online, maraming available na exercises you can do. You can walk stationary, you can jog stationary, you can do seated exercise for elderlies. At yung mga elderlies na bedridden, tulungan ng mga kasama sa bahay na kailangan gumagalaw din sila. Okay? Kahit passive exercise lang yan. And then we also discuss about physical and mental stress. Diba? Yung sobrang exercise, hindi rin maganda. Because that is considered physical stress. Yun din ang interpretation ng katawan mo na nasa stress level ka din, which decreases your immune response. And we also discuss about the condition ng stress. That's why we need resilience right now. Kahit pag ganito yung situation natin, we have to know how to deal with it so that we will not be providing negative impact or immune response just because of the stress. And then we emphasize more importantly with sleep. Okay? Kapag tayo hindi nakatulog, like last night kung hindi ka nakatulog kagabi, now 30% of your natural killer cells are approximately not functioning properly. So that's how important sleep is. Matulog tayo ng maayos. We have to train ourselves. So that's why we call this a training for immune health. Okay? And then lastly, we discuss about alcohol and cigarette smoking. They can never do you any good. Pwede tayong mag-discuss ngayon na pwede ang alcohol kasi maraming research na nagsasabi nakakatulong ang alcohol. But at this point, we know very well that alcohol, any level of alcohol can decrease the level of your immune system. If we are talking about the resveratrol you can get from alcohol, the antioxidant you can get from alcohol, please get them from plant-based sources. You get them from the grapes instead. Okay? So, sa panahon ngayon, mas mabuting maiwasan natin kung ano man yung nagpapababa ng immune system. So again, just to repeat here, things that we have discussed, all we need to do is to keep our immune system higher. That's the only thing we can do right now. Because yung gamot para sa COVID, hindi pa po nadidiscovery hanggang ngayon. Madiscovery man siya, hindi siya lalabas sa lalong madaling panahon. So all we can do right now is to boost our immune system, boost our own innate immunity kasi siya yung number one defense mechanism ng katawan natin. Walang ibang makakatulong sa atin kundi yung ating sarili. So like I said earlier, hindi lang po sa pagkain, hindi lang po sa physical activity, hindi lang din po sa stress resilience, hindi lang din po sa sleep. Now, what we can do right now is in fact, we have to deal with this situation, deal this with the Lord. Okay? So, the only thing we can do is to trust God, and that's the end of everything. Wala naman tayo ibang magagawa. Kasi it really depends on the consistency, on the constitution of our body. If you're born with good constitution, then you're very blessed. But if you're born to parents with many different types of genes, genes ng diabetes, genes ng cancer, genes ng iba't ibang klaseng sakit, so that will give you the highest risk of having viral infection. But again, you can help yourself by increasing and boosting your immunity. Like we always say, health is not a chance, it is a choice. And if we choose to be healthy, we've got to do something. In these days, mahirap kasi ngayon because the healthiest choice is the hardest choice to make. Yung unhealthy choice, laging readily available. Kahit po walang krisis, yung unhealthy choice, napakadaling gawin. Yung healthy choices, parang kailangan mong mag-spend. Parang kailangan mong mag-invest just to become healthy. Let me just remind you, now, to be healthy may be expensive. But remember, to have the disease is a disaster.